I was paying attention there correctly, but Chicken Salt will have the first ban, the first pick, and it's a map that I would say has swung in favour a little bit more as a result of the last patch we had.
Yeah, just with all the changes to the siege and how that implements itself in the game, I definitely would have to.
But I feel it gets a bit of a negative press because of the fact that, yeah, if you do have a snowballing lead, you could literally turn from being a PvP-centric comp into very passive play, just farming those mercenary camps, collecting coins, going for the chests, and just passively just handing in coins to win the game. You can avoid team fights and skirmishes for the best part of 10 to 15 minutes late game.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also up to the teams as to respond to that and be aware of that. So you don't want to be getting in that situation yourself. But enough about that. We are going to be kicking off in the draft here. And a ban has already gone out for both sides, Zagara and Kerrigan. And Zagara, since it changes, so good. Yeah.
And these seem to be two very flavoursome bans for this current patch as well. We've seen a lot of Kerrigan picks, especially since she got the big buff. Zagara, as you're about to touch on there too, no surprises there. So much siege potential. But as a result of taking that one out, Chicken Salt gone straight for that first pick on Dazul, feeling very comfortable with the wave clear that it can provide.
Yeah. I think just concur mentioned before we start the game off as well that Plantronics NV, one of the players, is quite renowned for his Kerrigan play, so maybe that was a bit more so targeted. Yeah, hiccup. So always Disco would say hiccup, but there's nothing wrong with that. But yes, so that might have been a bit of a respect ban in some degree. Might have to touch on that a little bit in the future. But look at these picks now. Zul and Thrall for the two Bruces and Chicken Salt. At least Thrall's being hovered, locked in now, and Li Ming their mage. So very strong backline there.
Yeah, so Plantronics NV responded with their two picks going into this first section by taking the Falstead. So global pressure, brilliant pick on this one here. And they're going for the ETC as well, so an early tank pickup, basically saying that they're feeling the most comfortable on this tank of choice. And that'll be Moops most likely trying to make the big plays with those mosh pits. But going into this second rotation, they're actually going to go away and take out Joanna, so it really complements the wave clear that they're trying to achieve with Azul.
I think what it also does as well, Skimmy, is that it stops Chicken Salt picking up a hard counter as well to ETC, because Joanna with the displacement all of her CC can really be an annoyance for ETC when you're trying to get those mosh pits off. And but it's actually interesting, I think, that they're picking up ETC because Li Ming has been picked as well, and with already the CC on the board and with the ultimate you can pick up with Li Ming, Wave of Force, I believe it's called.
That's one.
You can actually disperse ETC in the right moment and thus end his mosh pit. So it's quite interesting seeing such an early pick ETC there.
And it's also, I suppose, caters to the fact that they're trying to bait out certain bands. You see Chicken Salt went straight forward. They took out the Uther. They're saying they do not want them to have that divine mosh pit sort of combination we've seen before. But now this feeds into what Plantronics, I would assume, wanted in the first place. They picked up their Vega. Gives them a lot of AoE sustain. And they've now got a second pick to work with. They haven't used any of their bonus time pools so far, but they can feel quite diligent to start using it now.
Well, I mean, when you've got your last two picks left, I guess this is the perfect time to use it, really. So the really thing about this last one, the fourth pick here, they've got their tank, they've got their support, and they've got a nice specialist, I guess you could say. Falstead really fills a nice role and can really engage in team fights and disengage them as well. So a very versatile character.
An interesting thing to bring up here, Starving. I was just going to say they might go for the Sylvanas for extra wave clear, but they've actually gone for Tracer, which is not something we see very often at all.
Yeah, and in light of Rio Games as well, the Rio Games, the Olympics, Tracer just got a new skin announced or whatnot. That cool wee outfit, the Olympic outfit that she has. So make sure if you're watching the Olympics, you pick up yourself a cheeky old Rio skin to support those lads. But look at that, Chicken Salt managing to, pick up their tank. They go for the Mirror and the Brightwing. And Brightwing, not really seen too much play in the ANZ region, I must say. But, due to what's happened recently, do you think he will see a lot more play in the future, maybe? Or?
I feel as if this Brightwing here is basically trying to cater to the fact they want control. They want to be able to really try and tie that ETC from, landing any big combos and really destroying their team. This is another way of them reliably being able to interrupt what he's trying to achieve. Li Ming then doesn't have to be so concerned about her positioning or her wave of force usage. But it just gives them a lot more control to really follow up the Mirror, which is now just a stun CC lock sort of chain that you got there. Also, Trace it heavily countered by the Brightwing. She goes in, can't recall, obviously, because she's completely locked out there.
Polymorph.
Sonya, though, was the last pick here for Plantronics. It's their Bruiser role, and that really fills out their full roster. So you get your 5v5 skirmish comps for both Plantronics and Chicken Salt. But before we go any further, we're going to pass it back to Vandy and Disco to discuss it.
That Tracer pick is, I really agree with the boys. That is a interesting one right there. Especially recently that she had a melee radius reduced on her melee attack ability. So it sort of like reduces how much you can actually charge up or how much value you can get out of it. out of getting her ultimate fast, because she is a unique hero in that she does have her ultimate effectively from level 1. Just it does augment and change as the game progresses, especially at level 10. She's an interesting choice. She can be punished very heavily, especially looking at the Chicken Salt's lineup with the Muradin. Like, if she goes in and a stun gets off, she can be blown up. You're blown up by Li Ming, blown up by Thrall. She can be pretty safe against Zul, so there's no concern there. But, I don't know, I just feel it's a very...
It's an interesting pick, but I think where Tracer really excels is that she can just cause confusion amongst the enemy team, and she's just annoying. If you sort of turn around to deal with Tracer, suddenly there's the Sonya, the ETC, the Falstad in your face. So she's a really good time waster, and I think if played well, I mean, she doesn't need to kill anybody per se, but if she can get in there and disrupt Chicken Salt in the team fights, she's effectively doing her role well, and then just drop a sneaky pulse bomb in. If Brightwing does get the polymorph on her, that's totally another story, as we sort of discussed. But I think it can work. It's just about how they play her.
Yep.
But I definitely also like the way Chicken Salt drafted. I think it's very smart, especially on Blackheart's Bay. They can lock out a lot of the area, I guess. And same with Plantronics. They're playing with the objective in mind. They want to get the strong turn-ins, control the chess, and effectively end the game.
Yep. Yeah, it's... I don't know. That's just the Tracer. Tracer pick concerns me. Concerns me for...
we have to see how it plays out. Have some faith in Plantronics.
Well, to add to that, Disco, I was going to say I would have thought they would have gone for the Sylvanas for extra push, as well as the ability to, chuck out a Wailing Arrow, and if the mosh pit goes off, the big gust comes out. You've just got so much control that you can really work with, especially because you've got so many combination pieces. You've got the Thrall, the Li Ming, the Zul. This was even before Brightwing would have been chosen, so it's interesting that they're feeling that confidence to burst out the Tracer that early on and try and go for that more pick-off role that what Sonya's trying to achieve too.
Yeah, it's not really something you see picked up a lot, but I do actually think that Vandy had a very important point there. It's just a very disruptive style of play. You get in there, you do the damage, you kind of disperse the enemy team, make them reactive, and then you get out of there. But I think the biggest thing that Tracy's going to have to look out for is that Brightwing is going to...
And I'm just thinking here, because we discussed earlier in the draft for this map specifically, some teams play for the skirmishes, some people play for the map objective. Given Tracer's ammunition capture, she can really destroy those chests on her own within, a couple of shots. So perhaps they're going to go for the more, early game strategies and try and collect as many coins as possible. That's why they got the Falstad too, trying to sort of snowball that lead and just win it out.
Yeah, like we've been saying, just going to have to wait and see how the teams played out, because Chicken Salt, I'm really liking their draft. I think it's very safe. I personally really like the front line as well. Plantronics, Envy, my only criticism there would be, like we discussed, is the Tracer. I feel like it is a bit of a weak pick. And the ETC, I do think maybe we might even see a stage dive. We haven't seen a lot of players in the ANZ region pick up stage dive, and I think it was really picked up from players overseas, as a matter of fact. We're quite influenced by NA and all these other regions, so it's gonna be very interesting. It's to start things off in such a way, such weird picks, must say, to start the day off. But you know what? Not gonna complain. Every time you see like a niche-ish pick, it's always exciting. You see it and you see that player, and you're like, I like Tracy. Not tier 1, but I believe we had a wee joke about it back in the day as well. It's like a poor man's Marla.
Yes. But it is one of my favourite heroes, Tracer, especially if I'm smurfing, because you can carry games quite easily.
Yeah. The dupes, like me, can't win against she's even got the skin as well! Fantastic! So, Denza repping the Rio skin, the Olympics of 2016. Now, if you haven't had a chance to check that out, it's pretty fantastic. But of course, Heroes is better because you sit at your computer and don't need to be too athletic. But if you like me,
you can have them both on. You can have them both on. You can have TV in one corner and Heroes in the other.
A treadmill, maybe. You want to play standing up. I don't know.
Back-to-back sports. Sports Central. Esports and sports.
2016 shirt on and wear the shirt in the game as well. Exactly. That's synergy.
Yeah, it's synergy.
Do you think the changes to Tracer will see the drastic sort of change with, her melee range? Do you think they've kept that in mind as well?
I don't think so. I think the only real changes we're going to see when it is at level 7, where it used to be that, you'd go for the recall charges, for the extra dashes. I think there's a lot of variation on that one now. I haven't actually played Tracer too much recently, but I'm feeling that that's probably going to be the only other talent that would, see much difference.
I think Tracer is quite niche.
Very much so.
It's not something where, as say, Thrall can fit into any kind of team comp. Tracer very much so fits a niche role where you pick up in certain situations. But
and interestingly enough, Starving, just to cut you off there, it's actually Moops who'll be playing the Tracer, which, generally speaking, you'd see him playing that tank role.
Yeah.
But this time around, Plantronics MV are going to be led out by Anagon on the ETC. Hiccup is playing Sonya, Hux is on Rhaegar, Iwai on Falstad, and like we said before, Moops will be on Tracer.
Yep, and on the right-hand side, we do have the boys in Chicken Salt. So the first player is going to be Awesomeness. Happy birthday to him again, by the way. Muradin, Bullcrow playing Zul, GWYD or Gwyd playing Brightwing, Silent playing Thrall, and Thesna playing Li Ming.
That's the one here. We see, once again, there, the standard opening for a Tracer was that pole strike that she went for quite recently. And quite a lot anyway, so not seeing much variation here. Interesting to see what will happen at level 7, but everything else so far doesn't seem to be much variation. We see Electric Charge being picked up at level 1 from Rhaegar, which is probably the biggest change from the standard here. Increased radius. Usually you'd see that increased movement, but looking to try and beef up a tank, be it Sonya or
maybe
ETC.
just be a bit annoying as well with the range on that lightning shield. But look at this. This is quite standard as well. We do often see teams fighting for this watch point, and mind you though, funny little fact, the watch point doesn't actually give you any sort of advantage. It's just more of a niche thing the ANZ region does as well, but they're going to control this watch point and simply just wait it out. But the first chests are going to be spawning very soon, and you will see players gravitate to this.
Oh, look at that. Gwyn just gets taken out straight away. They held around that watch point for quite a while, and the patience paid off. They take out the kill. Chests do spawn at 50 seconds there, so they're going to clear out the top lane. That is Plantronics. And rotate quite down nicely.
Yeah, Moop's already starting to be aggressive there, Skimmy. It's quite interesting. They managed to get a kill so early. I think it was quite overlooked there, but they are going to be able to pick up this chest pretty easily here. Plantronics MP, ETC's tanking that nicely, and it looks like with the Brightwings come down for support to the support.
Yeah, he had come down. Iwai's already dropped pretty low, so it's a support there. Polymorph instantly comes out into Tracer. The recall used very early too. Iwai still dropped to half. He's actually doing a bit of cheeky B-stepping as well, but picks up 1 coin for his effort. Silent picks up 2, and the rest go over to Moops there.
Yeah, well, so looking at the bot lane, by the way, we're going to see, mostly the Thrall set up against the Thrall up against the Falstad. But with the interference of Brightwing, how do you think that's going to go for him, really, in the bot lane?
I'm not sure if I'm seeing Iwai sitting here for quite a long time. I'm not sure if Brightwing's going to sit here for too long, or if he's just trying to babysit the lane to get Thrall really into this one. I mean, Thrall should win this by sustained measures anyway. Oh, there goes the Feral Spirit. That doesn't connect there. Barrel comes out a little bit late, but the pre-positioning of that was too early. There comes the teleport into the top lane now. Awesomeness has been targeted onto. Big Pulse Bomb comes out, but it's not enough to pick off any targets just yet, but still the control is in favour of Plantronics MP.
Yeah, definitely nice one there by the old Tracer. Managing to get 3 characters there, so very, very well played. But I think this Tracer pick's working out quite nicely for them at the moment. They tend to be, they're seeming to be very aggressive, and it rotates from top to the top lane to the mid lane quite quick for both teams as well. Awesomeness just doing his best to kind of just keep the Tracer on him. I think it's quite a strong thing to do as well, considering how tanky and beefy Muradin is.
Yeah, absolutely, and you'd expect to see that Thunderclap coming out quite a lot, especially onto that Tracer, really hindering what Tracer can achieve in these ones, especially with that attack speed debuff. But still, the focus is in this bot lane. Silent still very sustained here. Only dropped down to half. There he goes. He's walked into the minion wave. He's going to go straight for the Wind Fury. The Feral Spirit doesn't connect again, unfortunately. The Chain Lightning comes out. Banana Rotation goes across. As Iwai now retaliates. Gets a lot of damage, and he's evened it out. Half to half now in that bottom lane.
Oh, but look at this. A fight breaking out on the top here. Big stuns coming out. A nice power slide onto 3 members of Chicken Salt. So they might go down here. Awesomeness getting taken so low as well, but forced to back up. Doesn't quite lose his life. The passive is now...
Oh!
Wow, look at that.
Fencer, huge snipe. I was just about to say that Tracer could have stuck around a little bit longer. Fencer with the reset, make that another one. Coming in for more now. The combination is what it is. It's combination fried rice, and it kills left, right, and center.
Wow, so, I mean, what exactly happened there, Skinny? I just want to break that down real quick. I know Economist dying as well, but what exactly happened there?
Well, I mean, Tracer went in for the pulse bomb kill on towards Muradin, actually recalled out very early, almost assuming that the damage was going to be enough. Rhaegar had to go for the pounce, but it wasn't to be it. And, Tracer, brilliant skill shot commander. She just picked off one and another.
Yeah. Very, very nice plays. And Li Ming with that reset, that's where the damage comes from. But what I'm really looking forward to, Skinny, is the level 7. The Thrall's going to be able to push through that bot lane so much stronger. Wow, Moops really copping a beating there. RK Missiles just trying to go over that, trying to see what's going on. That skin, by the way, fantastic. Really loving it. And here comes another fight, Skimmy.
Yeah, big fight's going to go out as Muradin's already chucked out that Dwarven Toss. Big Bone Prism's going to go on to ETC for 9, what he can do. Feral Spirit connects, but still just posturing around, and we've got 5 members apiece, all hanging around the Blackheart chest man himself. And now it seems to be they're going to split off and actually go for it. Actually, 2 members from Chicken sort of got up, but the rest of the team of Plantronics are still here. They're looking for a big kill opportunity. Murin is out of mana. He's not going to be able to do much. A big Arcane Orb comes across again, and that seems to be enough to deter them, Starving.
Yeah, I think for fair cause as well, because they are all quite low. But, I mean, Rhaegar is going to be able to top up that pretty easily. So, you know, I definitely like how Plantronics team are playing. They're playing very aggressive, and I think they understand that they kind of have the heavy power. But, man, I'm really looking forward now. Level 7 has been acquired. Of course, we are going to see Thrall be picking up that follow-through, and this is when he becomes the powerhouse.
And it's interesting to see here, Starving, that a full 1-level lead is in favour of Chicken Sock right now, doing a great job of commanding these lanes. The rotations are going across. Still looking for kills right now. They actually might try and collapse on towards the Agon, but the big knockback there comes out preventing any further aggression. But yeah, I mean, a 1-level lead. They both got globals on each side, so it's a case of who can, soak better.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment it's very good to see the Chicken Salt. They're just trying to push that advantage that they do have just that little bit further now. But I'm really curious to see these team fights as they start to break out. Of course, there hasn't really been a hand in yet either. No. Both teams being quite good at controlling their area, not really letting it get out of hand. Also, once you start dying a lot, you lose a lot of coins. You can find yourself, even losing 5 points can really start snowballing the game in a bad way. But look at now, a fight towards the mid.
That's the one here. Always caught in a situation. The Feral Spirit does connect this time around. It's still looking for more. Hiccup is leading the charge. But look at that. The Arcane Orbs. We've seen them all game from Fencer here doing big damage to the backline now of Plantronics, and still looking to really try and command it. It seems to be this Li Ming single-handedly is dictating how Plantronics set up.
Yeah, Thins are actually playing this really well. Just you can see how scared they are of those combos, can't you, Skimmy? Just as she chucks out that Arcane Orb, this effectively zones out the whole team of Plantronics Team B. So really liking those plays. They managed to hand in some more coins here, measuring up to 9 out of 10 for Plantronics. They only need 4 more, and it looks like they're actually going to get it.
And a lot of that, that backing off that you saw from Chicken Salt, despite being a level up, was the fact that the mercenary camps have been picked up, both in the top side and the bottom side for Plantronics, and nothing had been responded to. So it really forced them to actually have to make a decision on the fly. But look at this, there goes the aggression on towards Li Ming. Spin to win! Fins it down to 100, does tap the world too, but that's 3 members that have committed resources to the spot lane, and Chicken Salt can definitely abuse this now.
Yeah, definitely. So they still have their level advantage. Of course, they're about to hit level 10, so here comes a bit of scouting still from Finza, just trying to see what's going on. I do believe she's actually very well aware that they are picking up their hard camp. If not, she will be very aware as soon as it runs towards the lane. But level 10 now being picked up, so look at that. It's going to be actually Li Ming opting to get that wave of force that we discussed. So going to be able to counter the ETC Mosh Pit to pick that up, but look at ETC trying to go for a cheeky kill. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Yeah, level 10 is in favour of them right now, but it's not too long until Plantronics themselves pick it up. We said, yeah, we got Rave of Force, we got Sundering, standard stuff coming across here, but Emerald Wind also to complement what's going to be coming from the Skeletal Mages, so a lot of control. We mentioned it during the draft. They're going to try and pick people off, try and make things happen in their favour for the CC advantages, and that's really what they're going to try and do here, is they get a hand in the middle.
Yeah, and I've actually noticed a lot more Brightwing players picking up the Emerald Wind. It's very effective, and more so than you would think if you don't see it much. But look at this, we do see Brightwing, speaking of the devil, does rotate up now, winks up to help Walker, and here comes a mighty gust.
Oh, big gust comes across there. Oh, instantly the mosh pit gets denied, completely cancelled as a result. The Emerald Wind, Skeletal Mages are down too, but Gwig's got no way, no mobility. He has to drop in that case. Looking like Moops is still going for more kills. He's going for the damage. He gets onto Bullcrow, drops him to 200, but it's not going to be enough for the kill. He's going to reset himself out of there. Defense is going to come up for cleanup duty.
I think what we saw there as well, Skimmy, is just the ramp-up damage of moves. It just really is quite effective. You can just stick on a character in like Brightwing, and you've got no mobility, like you discussed, you're just going to get mounted very quickly. So big ups to Moops. They're managing to get a kill on to the Brightwing, and he's held it up there and just got taken out straight away. Very unfortunate, but very nice awareness of that Brightwing to help out his teammate.
8 minutes into this game now, we can see that Chip and Slot going to go for their night camp in the top side themselves, retaliate for. That does get even now. We see Hiccup also responding with the Siege Golems on the bottom-hand side. And looking at level 7 for Tracer, has gone for the Special Echo, so still the same talent that was what that talent build would have taken beforehand, but now the fact that it's looking for resets, but looks like they're going to try and go for a fight. This is Chicken Salt with the aggression. Big Bone Prism has come on towards Moops there. There goes the Dwarven Toss, looking to try and lock him down. Polymorph came too. Big Ancestral comes across, but same with the Mighty Gust to try and disengage. They're looking for kills. Fenz is trying to make things happen. Hiccup 1v5 spinning into there. Seems to be that both teams are not really looking to try and commit. They're trying to get some poke where they can and look to start fighting those resets.
Yeah, there's no ult yet up for an Aegon, but I bet the team is very scared of him at this point. Polymorph comes out onto the ETC. Huck's getting dropped quite low as well, going to force to back out as he heals up his team here. Pick up as well, receiving a lot of damage with the massive combo coming out from the score with the follow through. But no, they are managing to just kind of walk away from this one, dissipate the aggression. Hey, look at this. They're managing to pick up this bot box again, a bot chest.
Yeah, you can see a lot of low members on the side of Plantronics there, and you can see also Fenza trying to find a kill. He's trying to find that aggression to get those resets. But it seems to be that the plan for Plantronics right now is just to pick off that Brightwing every single time, really abuse the fact that he has no blink kill.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to be a lot easier for them in that regard. But, you know, Emerald win, pretty interesting pick, I might have to say. Going to have to see how that plans out. But, you know, while Plantronics MV kind of split off to get this XP, we see Falstaff flying out. We actually see Chicken Salt kind of forcing themselves to kind of control around the Handon area now. So the control, I guess, is now in their hands. And Plantronics MV are going to have to kind of steal it back off them because they had 12 coins. They only need 2 more to get their next Handon, which will be 14.
Level 13 is in favour now for Chicken Salt, and with that they do have Ice Block on Brightwing, so a lot more survivability at hand there. Has to play a bit more passive to try and survive in these engages, but that should definitely aid their experience. And look at that, that's actually forced out Skeletal Mages in the top hand side there. A lot of aggression was going on to Bullcrow on that Zul. He's burnt that ultimate, but he's not going to be too concerned. It is only a 60-second cooldown. And with this, also Fenza caught, but thankfully so, the teleport allows him to get out.
I actually quite like that play by Chicken Salt there. They managed to fool the team of Plantronics MV, make them respond to top, and they didn't actually get the kill. So, you know, popping their ult Bullcrow obviously is an ult down now, but he did survive. So, getting a lot of work out of that and pulling the enemy team up. The Handon point is now available once more, but we may see a fight break out.
A lot of coins on both sides, but 20 on Plantronics, 16 on Chicken Salt. But there goes the Sundering, followed by the Ancestral, looking for kills. But look at that, Frol jumps into the mix, doesn't find the reset he's off. They cannot cater to Li Ming's success. Nudge drops, so he's away for 30 seconds now. The siege continues, looking to try and push in this top lane. With those knights, they have now dropped now. Siege Golems are pushing uncontested in the bot hand side, so they need to make a decision right here, right now. 14 to 14. And I would say, Starving, that they're going to look to try and back out now.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting how they fought that. They took out the first tower and that bottom wall, and they fought in this weird little choke point. I think ETC felt very comfortable there. You can see he didn't use the ultimate there, didn't want to get interrupted. But Tracer as well, Mook's actually dashing in very heavily towards the front line, then backing out, allowing them to kind of group up a lot. And then the Nagon, the ETC player, trying to get those mosh pits. So just really be looking out for that. Very interesting
Starving.
play.
Looks like Chicken Salt have seen the rotation from Plantronics and have begun the boss now. So I don't know if Plantronics are aware of this. They've gone for the Handon themselves. They're going to go for the Siege Golems too. Potentially the Siege Knights, in fact, as well. So going to trade out once again Mercenaries for a top, for a bot. And really, who's going to get the best of this trade?
Well, I mean, you know, Plantronics MV, they managed to get a Handon. Of course, that's going to be running out very soon, but I think this actually opens up a very interesting opportunity for Chicken Salt. They can push this lane very hard, very quickly, and they've got themselves a lot of coins at the moment as well, so they can just apply the pressure at top, simply leave, and apply pressure in yet another lane. So I actually think Chicken Salt coming out on top of that one, maybe just a tiny bit.
We'll have to see. So we've got 2 big mercenary camps in the lane pushing, and that's most likely going to get that fort for free, and potentially more, depending on how long Chicken Salt sit here. The Golem is now, the boss I should say, is now banging on the door towards their keep. Gate's gone down, tails have gone down too, and he's looking for more. Are they going to try and siege this keep? Are they going to try and force it? We have to see, because they're looking to pop that Skeletal Mage to instantly slow every member down. And once again, you can see Sundering is looking to be popped, but are they going to back on out? They've realised that this is not the forced engage they're after. They've learnt from before on that top side.
Yeah, I do think it would have been a bad fight for them to engage in anyway. Of course, Falstad has the Gust, and you've got just a scary number of spells that you don't really want to be dealing with. Of course, you can actually get Gusted back in towards their tower, which would not be good for them at the moment. And, wow, if you look at that as well, Skimmy, towards the bottom lane, just still getting worth out of those mercenaries. So quite even, I guess, but, you know, Chicken Salt just getting that little bit more worth, managing to break.
They did, they've broken that keep down to half health with no mule available for Plantronics. That is permanent damage at this stage. And look, they're playing aggressive. They've realised they had those mercenaries pushing bots, so why not try and force the aggression? They did actually catch Mirrodin at that Quen camp. He was forced to disengage from that one, but they're going to go for the aggressive invade, take the siege golems from their side too, and not to try and force a fight whilst it's even a piece. It's 16 to 16, but the advantage in terms of XP now is in favour of Plantronics.
Yeah, definitely. And Chicken Salt need to be very careful here, because this is the sort of rhythm you can find yourself in, just taking shots and PvE-orientated style play that we were mentioning before the game even begun. So I actually think that's what Plantronics MV are looking to do. Though. You see a lot of split, trying to deal with the pressure on the map that they deal with quite nicely with Falstad. And, they're really going to be looking to just try and hand these coins in and just keep snowballing that advantage that they've seen to pick up now. But look at this skimming. There might actually be another fight breaking out as they're all converging around the mid lane.
Yeah, Falster's still in the top lane there, looking to try and clear out this Night Camp. Get too much work. He's going to be playing it very patiently, waiting for the call for him to fly on in. There goes the big engage, looking to try and take out this ETC. He's stunned, he's locked down. Does actually full stack the Ancestral. Is the Gust going to come out? No, it does come out now. Sundering to respond. Instantly, the Wave of Force and the Emerald Wind. So many ultimates, all preemptively trying to protect and try and predict whether or not that Mosh Pit was going to come across. But look, 16 talents in the favour of Zor as well as Brightwing, really looking to try and blow somebody up. And there's the first kill. Big Mosh Pit comes out too. The kill goes onto Falster, still looking to try and split people off. Li Ming gets taken out instantly, 1v1 by that Tracer. Still looking for more. Big stun comes out from Wilson as he chucks himself into the front line. Ball grows super low, down to 200. What can he do? Moves also finds a kill. He finds another one. Look at him. You can see the whole time he's on his right-hand side, looking to split people off. He's fighting another one. That's 2 for 2 right now, Starving. And I think from this, they're going to back out because chests have now spawned.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what we actually saw there was just such good positioning by moves. We saw Anagon and the Felstead, the ETC and Felstead, trying to set up some sort of combo with the Mosh Pit and Gus. But the response with Thrall and the Emerald Wind there was just on point, really dispersing that whole fight. But Moves just really had the right idea, getting around the back line there, managed to get a pick, I believe, onto the Li Ming, and then switched his attention onto the right wing, which forced Thrall, as a matter of fact, to kind of help him out as well. So really, really tricky fights, but both teams performing so well there. But I do still think, Plantronics MV, they're not quite out of this one yet, but Chicken Salt, surprisingly really good team fights for them, I have to say.
They're doing quite well so far, but I feel like they need a little bit more protection for that Li Ming. Shouldn't allow Tracer to get to that back line as easily as it seemed to be in that example there. But 18 to 18 now, camps are being picked up, the shots were fired. No coins were lost on the side of Chicken Salt there, so they needed 14 to hand in. They had 14 before the fight, and 14 were handed in as well. So 8 now on their side, 20 for Plantronics. Looking to now once again apply the pressure with the mercenaries, and still that keeping a top side is a concern for them.
Yeah, and I mean, even the concern for Felstead as well, always just rocking up to the fight just a tiny bit late. But look at this, we actually see Anagon having to use his power slide to get out of there. So here comes the Bone Prism. We might actually see a Decius coming.
Yeah, they're still forcing it. Doesn't matter what they do. They have all the CC. They can afford to chuck stuff out, and even the Ancestral does not come in time. There's another kill. There's more CC. Iowa goes in for the Gust. He gets 5 members, but it's just too little, too late. Is he now going to get caught? Big Sundering comes out, but the path of the glory was not there, and the bird flies away to live another day.
I don't think I've ever seen a Sundering not hit anything. So, I mean, that could be a big play of the day there. But look at this, they're actually looking to go for another kill. Awesomeness, going for the stun. Yes, he gets it indeed. Polymorph into an AoE. Just shows that, if you're by yourself, they have enough CC to take it down. And, I mean, they've really been able to snowball in this last couple of moments.
And Starving here is a scary prospect with 3 members down, at least for 20 seconds. They're looking to pressure core. Big Bone Prism comes across. Is Hiccup going to drop? He is! Emerald Wind comes across too. Are Chicken Salt going to go for the core?
Wow, I mean, they really could here. Moops is just looking to do as much as he can. I don't think a Tracer can do this by himself, though. 50% on the core now, dropping so quick. 35%, and Tracer does go down. No one to defend this core. And wow, it looks like the first game is actually going to go to Chicken Salt. So GG has been called. First game today going to Chicken Salt up against Plantronics MV. Wow, didn't expect that one. Did not expect that.
What a game. And it just shows you, one lost team fight, a sort of case like that where the keep is so low, it does spell a win condition, and they grasped it by the horns.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll toss it back to Disco and what's not. So they can have an idea on what's happened there. So Dandy and Disco, what do you think about that?
That was just a crazy game. It was so touch and go between both of them. I think what really sort of came out was just when the rotations of the teams, you hand in and then boss is suddenly exposed just because of the way the objectives are sort of placed. So you always have to be mindful that, it's sometimes do you get the turn in or do you get boss? So you play that sort of internal struggle. And, oh my gosh, just seeing the Mighty Gus, seeing the Sunders, it was manic all round, just crazy wombo combos going out. And as you said, the CC was insane for Chicken Salt. Insane.
And they
could drop it.
And that's where they really capitalized in this game, is that the CC they had from the Muradin, the Bone Prison coming out of Zul, even the Emerald Wind from Brightwing, and Thrall with his Spirit Wolf. It just all compounded. They could capture enemies out on Plantronics NV. Just lock them down, blow them up. And look, if you look at the lineup, Falstad is not a heavy, is a heavy HP hero. Trace is quite weak in that regard as well. Sonya can potentially be weak in that situation. Like she's got the whirlwind for heal, but if she can't hit anyone, it's not doing her any good, any value. So again, the follow-up can just put so much pressure. And you just saw it. They just blew heroes up. I mean, that was... I have to say, that was really surprising, seeing Chicken Salt play so well. I wasn't expecting them to have such good rotations down on the map. Even when they picked up the boss, I thought that was... I thought, you know what, they're going to get boss, but we're going to see Plantronics. They're going to get a hand in, they're going to get the siege camps, and then they're going to have enough coins for another hand in. But Chicken Salt's like, no, wait, mate, we got the boss. We're going to get value out of this. We're going to force it. And, hey, we just won the game.
And then just to add that, I mean, you saw the fact that that last team fight where the ETC got caught. We had a spell shield, okay?
Yeah.
The stun missed. Then Dwarven Toss comes out, and then more CC comes out, and the fact they got critterized as well as amplified damage on both Zul as well as Brightwing. It doesn't matter who the damage. It doesn't matter how many stuns they throw at you. You're going to be vulnerable some way. It doesn't matter if you're a tank or if you're faster with mobility. You're going to die. They're going to force it, and they're going to make sure it happens.
Exactly, and Fence's Li Ming's, those orbs, like you said, so on point, and just like hitting them and just getting them low before they could even engage. Just it makes such a difference in team fights if you're not going in with maximum health and maximum everything. So it was crazy to see. It's a really well played game by both teams.
Something else I wanted to point out with the Li Ming play now. My stat screen is actually messed up. I can't see how much hero damage you do at the end of the game.
It says 0 for me as well.
It says 0 for me as well. I had a notice of that.
AFK the entire game. I don't know. But what I want to say... But during the game, I noticed that her damage values weren't particularly high. Like, they weren't any more impressive than Tracer. But what you guys were just saying 100% is that it was effective damage. Li Ming put damage on heroes where it needed to be to really pressure in those fights. How many times did Falstad, get flanked by Li Ming? Big orb came out, bam, half his health gone. He's got to back out. He's he's a little bit of a frontliner. He's not in the fight. You know what? And Tracer just had to come around behind them so often that she just wasn't there for those initial fights. So I think it's a really bloody good game.
Yeah, I think one thing that I think really did kind of backfire them on the wee bit was, the ETC mosh pits. I just don't think we were ever going to see a time where they were going to successfully get them So I think it was just, to be honest, I think, Plantronics NB played really well, but Chicken Salt, they played it to a key, I think.
They played it better.
They played it better. They really did. So have to give it the kudos to them for that one. Very good first match. Really like the match. So.
And it is the best of three, so bear that in mind. We will have another game going in favour.
Yeah.
Exactly
in
right.
fact, we'll have that draft starting right now. It looks like they will be playing on Infernal Shrines. And remember that the loser of the first match gets the pick. So this is Plantronics NV's preferred map to try and come back in this best of three series. We'll pass over to you, Starving and Skimmy. Take us through the draft.
Here we go. Infernal Shrines is the one. It's the same setup as last time. First pick in favour of Chicken Salt. See if they're going to do the same thing again. Zor is also a very good first pick on this map, and they played it quite well last game, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it go again. Draft is opening up pretty much the same as before. Kerrigan and Zagara. Kerrigan, like we said before, even better in this patch, especially for this map.
Yeah.
Hop scotching around onto those different skulls and just abusing it in that respect.
Yeah, so essentially just going to be ravaging back and forth, getting those shields up and all that sort of carry on. But first pick, no surprises here for Chicken Salt, Sylvanas, and she has been first picked on this map so many times, on maps like kind of orientated around getting a lot of bosses and that sort of thing. So like Tomb of the Spider Queen, Infernal Shrines, Dragon Knight as well, when you can actually push with the Dragon Knight, so effective. And even Garden Terror and those sort of things. So yeah, Sylvanas, very strong, always has been very strong. But Kael'thar's being picked up for Plantronics NV. It's going to act as their AoE damage, potentially with the Phoenix. And Hovering Joanna is their tank, so...
Yes, I mean, they're really trying to take away the AoE clear and really allow, these waves that Sylvanas is going to generate to be decimated quite easily. Especially, like you said before, the objective on this map can really be taken into a very commanding lead if you are able to disable the structures. And
we've seen teams win with one push.
Absolutely, and you saw how Chicken Salt played before. They played quite well in terms of the siege orientation, so expecting to see that even better this time around with that passive.
And I mean, you talked about last game as well. We are actually expecting Sylvanas coming out, but they picked up the Tracer. Yeah. So, I mean, very interesting to see how this goes. And I mean, 1 up already to Chicken Salt. So, Chicken Salt going to be feeling pretty confident after that last game. A bit shaky on both sides, but they are 1-up. That means if they win this game, they go forward into the third bracket of the day. So, going to be very interesting to see if in the ANZ region we saw a lot of 2-0s in the past. Maybe something like that's changed. So, see if I can get it to 1-1. But Murden now being locked in as the tank for Chicken Salt. So strong.
Yeah, Murden, they played it quite well last game. They're realizing that it's the preferred tank. They don't want it to be banned away from them because Plantronics most likely would have been hovering out. I was just going to say Fro will be the next nice pick for them to pick it up. Don't really feel that Sonya really fits into what they're trying to achieve so far. And once again, more CC. You apply that with a silence too. And it's going to look like a repeat of last game.
Definitely. So, you know what? They're looking for the second bans here. And there was no real surprises there that Zagara has been banned out. Even pre-patch, she was still getting banned out pretty much every game, or if it wasn't Cal Fast. So, even now, since the patch, you're going to just see her banned out so often, so much split that a lot of teams just don't really want to seem to be dealing with at the moment, especially in scrim environments and this sort of environment. So, really taking their time to think about this banning estimate. What do you think is going through their head here?
I think they're concerned as to whether or not they need to ban a support or another one of those damages. And, we saw how well Li Ming played last time. Li Ming can be played on this map despite popular census. It's still not the worst pick. Yeah. And, with the accuracy we saw from Fenza last game, wouldn't be surprised. But no, they have gone for that support ban, and it's interesting. Basically saying to them, we've got Kelfast, we do not want you to be able to deal with him. Our comp is very much centric around what he can bring to the table. Yeah,
definitely. So I think they've kind of shown Chicken Salt that, we're trying to centralise around the whole Kelfast pick here, especially now. Chicken Salt have to think, what support do we go for? Considering that, Rhaegar has been banned out. Uther isn't really the best support to be going up against Calfast. Divine Shield can be used well to kind of stop someone from blowing up, but the split damage that Calfast can do with Chain Bomb, Phoenix, it can be really hard for Uther to actually deal with. So
this is going to come down, I'd say, to starting a case of the supports hero roster.
Yeah.
Monk would be my go-to suggestion, really. Best of both worlds, more aggression for this sort of aggressive comp they've got, as well as the AoE healing that he can provide. But sometimes we've seen the medic being used to quite success, as well as going up against the Kelfast, which wouldn't seem like the most obvious option. But when you got a Frau there, that's a nice beefy target for you to make go hard.
I was actually thinking Plantronics NV might pick up the Sonya as well. Sonya quite good on this map, but actually looking to pick up that Greymane there, already locked in. And Greymane is a fantastic character, but Uther has been picked up for Plantronics NV. Quite a big fan of that there, so that is going to allow Greymane to be super aggressive, go in for the throw, and of course they're going to be so low from the Chain Bomb, from the Phoenix, that Greymane's just going to have a field day if he does get that Divine Shield with that synergy being there.
Now, the only interesting thing I'm looking at on the side of Plantronics right now, starting, is they don't have any obvious solo laner. We still have the option of potentially Falstead or a Tassadar, I'd be saying would be what they're looking for.
Wow.
Chicken Salt taking the Tyrande, basically saying that, hey, we're going to go for the hybrid support, we're going to take that Tassadar, almost to a degree forcing Plantronics to go for either the Sonya or the Falstead. And with this sort of comp, I would say Falstead is a given.
Yeah, Chicken Salt's comp is so good here. I'm really liking the stun follow-up that they got. But wow, they did a complete 180 on what you just mentioned there, Skimmy. Picking up Arthas. So, there's a lot of interesting ways they can go with that. Arthas has received a couple of changes here and there. And pumps out a lot of damage as well. But I actually think it'd be quite good for this map in particular, just with the amount of skulls that you need to pick up with the shrines. Of course, it offers a lot of control, and you've got the Howling Blast, and you've got your Torrent, which can actually root enemies if you've slowed them for, I believe it's 3 seconds or something like that. So it can be very effective. I'm not too sure how it's going to play out, but looking at both team comps, both quite good. I'm really liking Chicken Salts though once more.
Chicken Salt, your generic stun comp with the Murder, really trying to follow up and allow Frau to be the beefy target, but then the same really applies to what Greymane's trying to achieve with the Luther. Just a lot of control and a lot of damage to really boost what Kelfast can do. The Living Bomb goes across, Greymane's going to snipe, But enough of our analysis, we'll chuck you back to Vandy and Disconcur to see what their thoughts are before this game kicks off.
Thanks, guys. I'm just looking at them now, and like you said, Chicken Salt they've just stacked up the CC once again. We can see how effective having that crowd control is, because Infernal Shrines effectively forces you to fight in the shrine points. So by being able to sort of lock out and have that area of effect, it's going to be, I think, just what sort of wins the team fights for them and the skirmishes that sort of break out. But then Plantronics NV, we've sort of got the same thing happening. Kelthos, Johanna, Arthas, they can also quite effectively lock out an area. Even Uther, if he doesn't take Divine Shield, instead if he takes his other heroic. But it's just, I don't know, it's just going to be really interesting to see. I like the way both teams have drafted this time. I feel like it's more even, and I don't see any odd picks going on here and there.
Yeah, something I was going to mention as well is after this, we might actually see a Syndragosa.
Yeah.
Because, I would really assume being the main team for Plantronics MV. I don't think we'll see like a death call after this coming out, you know what I mean? I think Syndragosa could really be effective here, especially when Vandy was saying you're forced to kind of fight around these points. Phoenix comes down, a lot of slow with the Syndragosa, it can blow them up. So my bet would be to see the Syndragosa. The ultimate.
It's a pretty good thought pattern as well, because it can be useful with the Punisher as well. The Punisher goes in,
Synergy.
jumps the line, Syndragosa goes down, locks the keeps and fortifications. So definitely could see that.
You already feel exposed with the Punisher hammering down at your sort of fortifications, and Syndragosa disables them, so it's like almost effectively like their version of Sylvanas if they pick it up, and if they manage to save it for when they can push.
Yeah, very agree.
What are your thoughts? Because for Plantronics, they've already got it looks like they're very much heavily going for those objectives, aren't they? They've got the Kelthis, even Greymane with his swipe. Uther can have a little bit of AOE. Arthas, Johanna, Kelthis, they can really burn down those objective points. And I mean, with the Johanna, the Plantronics MV front line is just so hard. Like Chicken Salt's got a lot of CC, but are they going to be able to put it on anyone that's even useful? And Johanna's in the front line. She can just, pop her trait and get out of the way.
She can pop Iron Skin and just sort of absorb it all and just be like, come at me. Yeah, that's what Johanna excels at. And that's why I really like her as a warrior. And, I think we're seeing a bit more of her being sort of rotated back into the tank roster. She sort of fell out of popularity, but we're seeing her come back. And with good reason, because she's so versatile, I feel. She's one of those underloved champs.
Well, she's coming more popular as we bring more heroes into the fold that don't really, let's say, have good lane clearing. That's the big thing here, is that Johanna is a great lane clearer. And when your team doesn't have it, she's a good tank to pick up in that regards. But it's Infernal Shrines. lane clear just for those, just for the objectives is a lot of what you're looking for in your hero selection. But they've got Johanna and Arthas. That is just a big front line. I think Plantronics are going to win these fights, just because they've just got the Meteor front line. They'll get the Punisher, and if Arthas does take Syndragosa, good synergy. If he doesn't, Ghouls, it's only going to keep him alive longer. All their damage is coming out of Thrall and Tarunde using her trait, Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. But it looks like we're kicking off into the game here. So we'll see it in a moment. I'll just let Vandy here as it's stuck into the second game between Plantronics MV and Chicken Salt. So we're going to kick it off on the left-hand side. Skinny, who we got?
Well, on the left-hand side, once again, it's a Nagel leading the front charge on that Johanna. We got Hiccup on Greymane. Hux is on the Uther, Iway on Kelfast, and Moops this time is on the tank roll. He's Arthas.
Indeed. And on the right-hand side, we do see Chicken Salt once more. Awesomeness playing Muradin, Wood playing Tarund, Denza playing Tassadar, Bullcrow on Sylvanas, and Silent Thrall. And his Thrall isn't silent, let's be honest. Yeah. Runs around, Locktar or go! Gets it going there. But gonna start kicking things off. My cosplay for Orcs is horrible. Not gonna attempt that ever again there. But, let's have a look at the talents and see if there's anything that pops out to your eye this thing.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at a Wave of Light being picked up by the Uther, so sort of the Beam of Light build, if you will, as well as the Sentinel build seeming to come out from Tarunde here. But looking like a 5-man stack in the mid lane for Plantronics, whilst Chicken Salt are going to really abuse that passive from Sylvanas and go for the standard cheeky opener by taking that tower 3. Yeah,
definitely, but we're going to have to wait and see as to what Plantronics MV do here. They did manage to get a tower so fast, just showing how easy that is with the Sylvanas being able to lock down those structures and take no damage for it effectively as well. So not much of an XP advantage at the moment, but this is, of course, what Sylvanas is very effective at.
The interesting point to bring up here, Starving, is Arcane Barrier hasn't been picked up by Kelfast, and something I was going to touch on in the draft is the fact that their comp is so heavily built around this Kelfast, you'd want as much survivability as possible. Must be feeling very confident with his ability to play, because look at that, the Flame Strike connects with 3, and that's a lot of stacks, which if it does get to that full duration, is going to really, really hurt.
Yeah, indeed. And it just really depends on how both teams play this. I was going to say before we drafted the start of the Chicken Salt, with their combos, they do have the options to get these kills here, but wow, Pelthas was being so effective here, zoning out with those AoE flame And it's just going to be so annoying for the rest of the game. Bullcrow getting jumped here, though. Boy, Hiccup. Is he going to go down? Yes, he does. You're not going to get away from a Grey Mane. Such a good pick.
And it's just something I was going to say as well, is they have a very squishy team, so if people do get picked up from these rotations, then it's going to really cater to a snowballing lead to this comp, which is very aggressive. You've got the Calfast and Grey Mane looking just to jump in and cause somebody to blow up straight away, and, win from a numbers advantage. If the stuns can come out onto those crucial targets, those DPS mains, then, Chicken's not going to have a good time like last game and really burn people down. CC is the name of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Need to be landing the stuns on, getting those kills nice and quickly. But at the moment, I feel like they're getting played at their own game here. So, Awesomeness taking a lot of damage here. CC coming out onto Enagon to kind of slow things down. I think he was going to walk and toss over that wall there, but he just realised then that he doesn't really have to. And here comes the Shrine.
Yeah, this wave clear for the side of Plantronics is just so good right now. They've got the swiping ability of Grey Mane, they've got the flame strike and living bomb from Kelfast as well. And you can see that they're just going to try and control this one. You've got the top lane now coming down, the solo lane is coming for the big fight that seems to be breaking out here. Awesomeness trying to survive and break as much damage as possible. A big collapse there as Free actually make that 4 members get head on. Moog's taking so much damage, he baits that quite perfectly. Tyrande, the first casualty to go down, and Awesomeness is super low as well. He gets taken out. Big flame strike. And they're not finished their stuff. I mean, they want another one, they find another one. Nice. 3 members gone, and
wow.
Like that, it's done.
IY is playing this fantastically. The synergy between IY and Enagon there, the Calfast and the Joanna is just absolutely massive. You see these big flame strikes affecting 3 or 4 members of Team Chicken Salt, which is just really not where you want to find yourself. So the synergy there, fantastic, and just trying to min-max that damage. You see it at the start as well, they're really trying to centralize their build around this Calfast, and it's just showing off at the moment. But look at this, the Punisher, the Mortar Punisher, is going to make its first move, and John Cena's over there.
Yeah, not going to be too phased about this one. Quite weak, only 3 minutes into this one. Straight away back into the lanes. Turning our attention towards this Kazra in the mid lane, and Hiccup's going to be doing great work there in that wallgun form, decimating that with no trouble at all. And you can see Arthur's also going for the 1v up against that Thrower. Interesting solo laner, quite niche, but it's paying off for them so far.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that skin as well, that Arthur's going to be turns into a bat or something. Very nice and artsy. But look at this, another fight looking to want to be broken out for Chicken Soul, but they're just really not finding any of these picks they're looking for. They're rotating as 3, as you generally see that sort of team do, that matchup do. But they're just, like I said, not finding these picks, and the team that is actually Plantronics NV. So very interesting stuff.
Level 7 to level 6 now in favour of Plantronics. So you can see Calfast nearly at the end of that quest doing a great job, and he doesn't die before there's 100 stacks to achieve. Then definitely a huge power spike so early on in the game for him. Once again, more stacks as they rotate between the lanes. They do have the mercenaries available at their side too, so Sylvanas right now having to try and force pressure by clearing lanes on her own and really relying on the team comms so she doesn't get called out.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the XP advantage here for the side of Plantronics. The rotates, I feel, just a bit faster, and I think the wave clear as well of the Nagon and the Joanna is just helping out, just that little bit more flame strike as well, just being so effective. Just really paying off for them here. So Plantronics NV in a very nice spot. Ping's going out to the top lane as well, so I actually think they might be looking to go for a gank towards the top.
Oh, Borcrow's being called out once again though, and it seems that Hiccup's got his eyes set on that target. Oh, the gravity lapse doesn't connect, just a little bit too short. Does force out the rotate from Chicken Salt, and they do escort Borcrow out of harm's way just before this next transverse spawn.
Oh, but look at this. Here comes Moots with the Howling Blast, going for the CC. Nice. Coming in from Enagon as well, just trying to disrupt that. A little bit better. Flame Strike going off, not having any contact, and Awesomeness using that awesome toss to just toss himself over the wall there into safety, not finding a pick on either side.
And a lot of bad cooldowns used as well as tax of that well as we go into this second shrine phase. It's going to be an Arcane Golem this time around, and it seems to be that the Plantronics are going to go straight away for the engage, going to go straight away for the clearing, I should say. As Ioway does rock up late, Calfast going to do Calfast things, chucking that flame strikes left, right, and centre, especially with that level 7 talent, Burn Flesh. If he hits multiple people, you're going to have a bad time when you've got a pseudo support.
Yeah, but look at this, just being so effective, of course, no level 10 in sight for this fight. Yeah, I don't actually think either team's going to see that, but look at that, Hiccup actually getting taken out in the mix of things, just getting caught under a bit too much CC there and a bit too much body blocking, silent, punching away, and now Awesomeness getting very, wow, I think I just saw someone die to an Uther beam of light. That is a first. Skinny there.
Yeah, absolutely. Still looking for the kills. You can see Graham getting a little bit too excited. They're trying to jump in so early on. It doesn't need to. SA Belfast can literally do work like that and then complement the damage that comes out, even in this case, at Uther. So despite them actually getting the kill, it seems to be that they're forced away from this one. And quite rightfully so. Plantronics having a heart attack moment there, but they have regained their bearings.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to get themselves a pick, so if anything, it's pretty good. But on top of that, Plantronics MB playing this so well and so aggressively. I feel like Anagon, always up in their faces, just makes it so difficult for Chicken Salt to really do anything about these fights and get these picks that their team is kind of built around, So a bit of a shame, but the Arcane Punisher now spawning towards the mid lane. We see Arthas towards the top, just going to continue soaking, but he's actually running down now.
Level 10 is about to be hit here, Starving. I'm really curious to see what ultimate is chosen by that RPC. He does go for the standard army in there, so feeling very confident that they don't actually need the extra siege potential. They don't even need the disable. Just survive. As long as they're alive, they can peel and they can allow Kelfast to do what he needs to do. And that is the fact he's got Convection completed. Huge power spike for him so early on into this game. Are they going to keep pushing with this one? Or are they going to bounce between lanes? I want to see if they're going to abuse this level 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pretty interested, to be honest, that they didn't pick up this in Jagosa. I feel like they could have continued on that push just a wee bit harder, especially with the talent tier advantage that they have. But they're simply just going to use this advantage to pick up some easy camps on the side of Chicken Soul, which they can. They have the map presence at the moment to do that. And now they're rotating towards the bottom here to maybe try and pick up the support. So, very aggressive push. They can actually afford to do this. And, of course, Mook's going to be picking up that damage as well as IY here on the Cow Fast. And it actually looks like Chicken Salt are just opting to just split push here.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the idea now is. They forced to engage Tesla. It was all the way in the top lane here, so they could have forced a 4v5, definitely making it happen for them. But right now, they're just saying that let's just play passive, let's pick up mercenaries. We've already got the Kaiser in the mid, let's pick up some more on the bot-hand side, and let's just keep dominating the map, forcing people to be in situations they don't want to be. If they have a pick comp where they can't pick us if they're not always a 5-man unit, seems to be playing off of them so far.
Yeah, I actually really like that style of play. So the bot one camp pushing towards the bottom now. We're going to see Sylvanas rotate down. And they've picked up another Khazra towards them that I think actually is going to rotate through to the mid lane here. And a night camp being picked up the Chicken Salt. So the top lane effectively just going to equal out once those two hard camps are picked up. But I definitely have to say the advantage is in Plantronics MB. Not just of XP, but like Skimmy mentioned, they have the map pressure at the moment. And they have the kind of movement.
And the thing is, Starving, I mean, it only takes one Punisher in the favour of Chicken Salt for this to all crumble in their favour. So, I mean, with the Sylvanas at their disposal, we've seen it time and time again. They've lost all game, then they pick up one late game Punisher, abuse the passive, and they go straight for the core. And you saw last game, if they find those small windows of opportunity, they will punish you for it. This one is in the top lane this time, so very locked in. Ultimates across both sides, a lot of choke spots, and this really caters to what they're trying to both achieve.
Yeah, definitely. So IY here is certainly going to have a field day on this, just to really count on his positioning here. But of course, we are going to be looking up for Chicken Salt, trying to get these picks to me. That is what their whole team comp is built around, and that's what they need. Pickup or something like that would be a perfect target. Stun is now on cooldown for the Taran, so we're going to have to wait a few seconds to see someone blow up. But Anagon just doing what he does best to me and getting amongst that fight.
Yeah, definitely getting amongst, humping them all up, try and get value for IY. Big silence comes out, but it's quite preemptive. A stun goes across too, only hits a minion, so was a bit trigger happy there on the side of Chicken Salt, and Nagon still clumping people up. Finds free. Big Sundering comes across from the Lunar Flare too. Starfall to complement things. Phoenix as well. It's AoE centric, and Sylvanas is the first one to drop on down. They're looking to try and take out Iway at the back, but he just cannot die. He's so far back. He's so well protected. 3 members in Chicken Salt. That's 4. Murden goes down too, and Tassadar, the lonely Tassadar himself. There's not much he can do but shield the tower and pray.
Yeah, definitely. So what they're going to be able to do here is, as Spencer's trying to desperately protect this with the shield, they are going to just simply put one character on this, get as much push potential off just their natural power themselves, and then they'll be able to possibly pressure the keep with the push rather than the push only being very, very nice.
I think the problems they're having right now is they're very weak on damage in a certain degree, in the fact that they need to really harness one target, really punish that one person. You can see they're trying to get people, but they're dropping them so low, and then somebody else is quite low. If they can find the pick onto one target, they can go from there. Yeah. Because right now, if they go for these head-on fights, they're always going to lose against the Kelfast and Greymane.
Yeah, well, we saw the Starfall come down, and immediately we saw the Greymane hit the Divine Shield, jump to the back line, and get himself a kill. So I'm pretty sure that's how most of these fights are going to go. It pretty much does come down to Chicken Salt's execution and just getting that execute on one character, but working around a Divine Shield, that's never easy. Got such a strong front line as well. It really feel like this is really twisting into Plantronics control very quickly. But if we do see Chicken Salt at the moment, we actually see Sylvanas, soaking up the bot lane quite effectively, and Muradin is soaking up the mid lane. But as I said before, they've managed to get that port, so it's going to be able to pressure that keep, and it's going to be very scary at this sort of stage of the game.
Interestingly enough, Plantronics actually delayed that pickup to allow the minion wave to come on through, and respectively so Chicken Salt waited behind their gate, realizing there's no point us being even that far pushed up, so we're just going to shoot up as many structures as we can, delay this for as long as possible. Look at that, Howling Blast comes across, connects onto 4 members. There goes the Bless Shield, Tron gone straight away. Big damage coming across from both the big targets. Silence comes across once again, but it once again feels very unimpactful as now Awesomeness is trying to tank the world. There goes the stun once again. Haircut's super deep, but he's got the Divine Shield on him this time. Protection is there. Awesomeness cannot do much. Sundering comes across too, but it's just to no avail. The cooldowns feel very reactive at this stage, Starving.
Yeah, I think one thing we did see here is that, the silence, the Wailing Arrow came out after IY had already popped this ultimate there, so like you said, Screen, not a whole lot of work out of the cycle for himself on those. Yeah. But I was going to comment on the Tesla wall to start the fight off. It actually looked quite positive after this was overstepped a wee bit. The IY and the rest of the team, it didn't scare them at all, being so far ahead with this advantage that they've got. And yeah, they're just really playing to their strengths at the moment. Their comp built around their Cal Fast. They're not scared to have a couple of cheeky fights on it.
16-13 now, a huge momentum swing in favour of Plantronics NB, and the map is in their control. They have a keep down in the top lane, permanently pushed in their favour. They can now aggressively push to look for mercenaries. They can see that Chicken Salt just picked up that 1-2. Kazra are now still available in this bottom hand side of the match, of the map, I should say, sorry. And it really feels that Chicken Salt right now, as a 5-man unit still sticking around, are playing with the devil.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen already that, these headbutt fights that they sort of have, don't really seem to be going in favour for them on the side of Chicken Salt here. So maybe trying to find another way to work around this is what they really need. But the trouble is, when you start playing reactively, it's really hard to break out of that cycle there. So you can see them here just trying to run to other lanes and really force the aggression in those lanes, pull it out. But one thing I really like Plantronics NB is they're confident and they're walking in and they're getting this map control.
Absolutely, so they can afford to do so in that fact too, because they are so far ahead. They are now on the top hand side, looking to try and force a fight here. It seems Chicken Salt jump on in. There goes the Sundering. There goes the Starfall. But once again, Starving, it just feels like it has no impact whatsoever. And I feel as if Plantronics are going, well, that's great for us. You're behind as it is. Now you have 2 crucial ultimates down. Exactly. There's not much you can do until those are back up.
And a Shrine spawning in the next 5 seconds. This is when you really need those ults. I don't think they're going to be able to fight this. They are 1 talent tier down now. It's not a position you want to find yourself in.
There's no way.
And there's no way they would want to fight this. They simply just kind of have to give this up. And Hiccup's just doing this by himself, really.
I was just going to say, look at how they're posturing here, Starving. They've got 1 on the Shrine itself because they don't need that many people. Oh, the silence comes out too. Once again, ultimate being burned for free. Brawl getting caught off in the side there, but a big Lunar Fillet prevents anything from happening. But you can see they're all sitting in bushes, scouting out for 1 member just to walk on their own and get picked off.
Yeah, the scouting and the plays by Plantronics can be here just so confident, so different from what we saw last game as well. But big stuns coming out. Phoenix has been dropped, forcing Chicken Salt to kind of reposition around this. Awesomeness taking a lot of damage as well as his passive will start proccing off in a second if he takes no damage. Missing that stun onto IY, and of course no Phoenix ultimate at the moment, but we are going to see a stun coming out. Double man stun and a nice side wall coming out as well. But wow, I mean, the control of Plantronics NB is just really putting Chicken Salt on tilt for this game in particular. Those Wailing Arrows coming out so early every team fight.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel that they're on the same page. It's a comp that really requires a lot of communication and trust. And if you don't have it there, despite how strong it can be, it's never going to work for you. If you try and play it standard like they're trying to do so far, it just doesn't work in that respect. You saw how well they played a pick comp last game. It seems like they're kind of forgotten to a degree.
Yeah. But, with this XP disadvantage, they haven't managed to close the gap a wee bit. It's just going to have to wait and see if they can actually find themselves in the late game. But, it looks like another Punisher is going to be picked up. This is, of course, going to be the OG one. The first one we saw at the start of the game is going to be the Infernal Punisher, the Mortar Punisher. And that's going to be running through the old mid lane here. And, of course, mid lane is a wee bit exposed. So it's going to be a bit of a hard time for them to defend this, and with an XP disadvantage as well. So I believe Plantronics NB are going to do what they've done this whole time. And they're simply just going to push on through here with the old Tau Castle.
This is do or die for them right now because they're on the same tier for talents, but they are behind in levels. It's not the end of the world, but they need to try and force an engagement before anything goes too badly in their direction. Starfall and Phoenix, both AoE ultimates down wide early to try and zone the lap. It's not going to deter Plantronics so far. They're still looking to go for this. Punisher's down to 20%. Eve is still quite healthy. Wow. Big jump, but it's interrupted completely by the Condemn. Not enough support to keep Muradin alive, and he does drop. We've got Cannon minions pushing in the top lane. We've got Siege minions pushing in too. We've got a Mercenary camp coming the Shaman Dogs walk on through towards that core. That's another target dropping extremely low for the side of Chicken Salt, and it looks like Plantronics now are going to up the ante. They're going to go for the kill. They do take out Sylvanas before anything can happen. Bless Shield ensures that one, and that core is going to meet its demise.
Yeah, definitely. So it actually looks like this might be GG. Plantronics MV coming back strong. Howling Blast being used to slow down Silent there, and he silently passes away right in the safety of the face. But GG has been called. Plantronics MV picking up the second game in their series up against Chicken Salt, bringing it to a 1-1. Very exciting stuff. So good game to them. But we'll have a quick analysis, quick look at the damage and that sort of thing, Skimmy. We'll just have a quick down about that, but then we'll pass it back over to Disco. So what did you think about that game?
I mean, the fact is, Kelfast was allowed to be as strong as he was for the build he went for. He's gone for this Flame Strike build, which in some cases people have said is greedy. It's actually my preferred build because you can do so much damage. You can see there, 52,000 damage, in essence double what anybody else did in the game. And, the amount of CC and control they had really allowed those Flame Strikes to find so much value. So that's what I really have to say on that topic. Yeah,
definitely. I think Kelfast, really, with them centering their build around him, it just showed off, really, didn't it? Because all these Flame Strikes just always getting so much worth. And with the 8% burning that you're going to receive if all of you are clumped up, it's going to mount through you. So, I mean, we'll toss it back to Vandy and old Disc and Kerr there, and they can have their thoughts and feelings about this one. But, yeah, what are you guys' thoughts?
Well, as you were saying, Kelthus was on literal fire. IY just almost double that of Hiccups, and I understand that Hiccup was playing a burst champion, but just a Kelthus getting all of the flame strikes. As you said, getting the quest done really early by making sure he was hitting clumps of people. He played flawlessly, and there was only one death on that team from Plantronics NV. So that was insanely well played by them. They were like a well-oiled machine. And just a highlight that I wanted to point out was the last Punisher that we saw, they sort of waited to take it because they held on the 39. They made sure that they grabbed the Bruiser Camp. Then they took the Punisher. So that final push was like the final nail in the coffin. But they executed it so well. We've seen them do that before in the past as well. This is their map to go to. This is the map that they know the ins and outs of and the map that they succeed on. So the fact that there's one death on that team, they played flawlessly. And same with Sylvanas. She went full push build. She did so much siege damage, but unfortunately it's not what they needed. They needed to sort of answer to the skirmishes that Plantronics NV were bringing to them. So Chicken Salt sort of fell short on that.
You could just really see in Chicken Salt's, they just got flustered. They got to about the halfway mark in the game. They lost a bit of composure, and they're just doing lots of really silly things like splitting up a bit too much, single engaging. How many times Starving and Skimmy did Sylvanas preemptively pop out a Wailing Arrow and just heroics being thrown away? And I guess it's just the nerves of it. They were one game ahead, so they're still in this series. They've still got another shot, but I really feel that they just lost their composure in that game.
I'm going to have to cut you off there, Disc and Kerr, because we're back into things. The draft is live. It's on Towers of Doom this time around. So they're not messing around here. They are hungry for this series to be closed on out. And straight away, Zagara was taken from the pool by Plantronics NV.
Yeah. So, I mean, we already talked about this Skimmy last game. Zagara never sees play because she can't. She gets banned out every single time in this format here. So, you know what? She's banned out again. Nothing's changed in Kerrigan being banned out as well. We mentioned earlier that I believe that it was Moots or something. No, Hiccup plays a lot of Kerrigan and has got an honourable mention about his play. So, I mean, it could be kind of seeing the Kerrigan ban just as a respect thing again, but, Kerrigan receiving a
These are just the same bans and the same drafts coming out pretty generically across the board right now. Li Ming being the very first pick for Plantronics NV, they're not going to allow Chicken Salt to pick it off from how well it performed on the Blackheart space. They're going to take that one for their side. Falstad and Azul being the instant respect picks as the response is really great global pressure and once again more CC for the clear.
Yeah, Falstad always going to be a really safe pick with that Mighty Gust. Quite effective on this map as well because it's quite orientated around siege damage and recapturing these points, which I think Zul is actually really good for because it's got a swarmish, hive, I guess you could say, kind of like Zerg. And he can just kind of swarm these towers, recap them, and Falstad can obviously fly in and help him out with that. So it's going to be very effective on the side of Chicken Salt.
Greymane and Johanna being taken by Plantronics NV. Once again, two great picks in the last game. They're feeling quite confident with how well it performed, so why not take it again? Lots more sniping potential. It seems to be that generic pairing of big burst champions. You find somebody low, almost how Kelfos was playing last game, survive and just pump out the damage, and Greyman will secure the first kills. This time even more filthy. If it does get a kill, it's a reset, so a lot of pressure on those two to perform.
Yeah, these games of Tales of Turn can actually go quite quickly as well sometimes, because I believe back in the day, we actually got lucky enough to see 28 shots fired in the space of like 5 seconds, so that was ridiculous. Still one of the funniest moments I ever have casting this game as well, so gonna have to wait and see how they play this one out. But the really thing about the second ban here, and rightfully so, it is of course your last ban, so you want to make it worth. And they're going to ban out the Uther, so they're so they're going to think about picking up maybe a different support for themselves. Obviously, their Greymane pairing so nicely with Uther last time. Maybe we'll see Kerosene.
If we try and read these tells, you can almost say that Rhaegar being taken off the board provides that they're looking to try and go for a very melee-centric comp, or even the fact they're trying to go for a lot of AoE damage. But the fact that Uther was then banned away says, hey, we know you have ETC and Mirrodin available on the cards again. We're not going to allow you to pair it. ETC was taken there. So that would have been a nice pairing for them to actually be, divine moshed.
Yeah.
And that would really prevent what Leeming and Greyman are trying to achieve, and that's to blow somebody up.
Yeah, definitely. So Kerosene being picked up by Chicken Salt there, going to allow for a nice amount of AoE healing, as well as that Divine Palm potentially. It kind of acts as like a Uther Divine Shield, but a Resurrect mechanic. And Resurrect's also very good. Not a lot more of those mechanics coming into Heroes of the Storm with the new hero. And of course, if you play Priest, which you probably don't, in Hearthstone, new Resurrect cards came out as well, so give that a quick look. But, enough about that. Plantronics MV, they're looking up for the next 2 picks now. And they've got a bit of time to think about this, 53 seconds now to be exact. And really just trying to round this out here. They don't really, they've got themselves an assassin. They don't have a support yet, but look at that. Actually lock into the material.
Well, I was just going to say they're going to try and look for that divine combo. So if somebody jumps in, they're not going to die. They've actually gone for the control as well. They've gone for the Brightwing here. So it's an interesting pickup. Looking to try and, once again, you're moving way too hard right now. The Brightwing looking, to try and polymorph somebody out. They dive in deep. They've got a Tyrannical Sanctification, which I would assume would be the ultimate of choice here to really protect what Greyman's trying to achieve. But just, once again, a lot of control to allow for these resets.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we'd see a judgment just looking at that. And I mean, it really does help Plantronics MV just be that bit more annoying. You get 25% damage increase on Sanctification level 20. You can really expect Leeming to just be blowing things up at that sort of point in the game. So if you see this go late game, really expect big plays coming out of that Leeming. But, Chicken Salt here looking for their last pick. They've got themselves, their Falset Dizzle, the ETC and Kerosene. But how do you think they can round out this comp to kind of respond to Plantronics?
I wouldn't be too surprised if they went for the Frolic again, just for more disengage and disruption. And just really try and cater to what they're trying to do so far. A lot of control so far, really, in the side. They have the Falstad once more to try and blow people into the mosh pit. But I feel like the mosh pit is really going to be used as a deterrent more than anything. It's not really going to try and find too much value. It's going to really try to be predicted in the sense that Joanna can interrupt it. We've got Tyrael can interrupt it, Brightwing too. So, and Leeming really to round it all out. So potentially stage dive, but I would say it's going to be mosh pit. But just the threat of having mosh pit is going to be more impactful than actually using it.
Yeah, but we saw, ETC being picked up last game, and I actually thought, this pretty hard tank to play when you're playing a solo tank, because you can take so much damage, and if you power slide to get away, you've lost your initiation and all those things. But wow, and lock in the old Zeratul, and that's someone we don't see a terrible amount of play of these days. But I have actually seen a bit of play, more so of him in the NA games that have just come
Zeratul, I'm not that... not that questioning on that pick, actually. I mean, it can snipe off these targets quite well. You can actually jump onto the Brightwing and really force him to say, well, do I need to polymorph you or stick to the game plan? Can also jump onto Leeming and give her a bad time. And it just means that these guys on Plantronics MV can't play as aggressively or as recklessly, if you will, as they want to, because they're always going to be conscious. Where's that Zeratul? Because he can really make my life a living misery.
Yeah, definitely. And I just really like the VP as well, the VP option. It's kind of like a backup for Falstad's Gust. And they can really pull some big plays out of it. We actually saw heaps of stuff like that back in the day, and some combinations like the Falstad Gust into a mosh pit. It's just
perhaps they've got this idea that they're going to lose this game, so we're just going to VP our course so we can't take shots.
But that could work out. And you've got like a stack of like 20 shots. And it's like
and then you just win the game, and suddenly those come through, and we've won.
Exactly. Best plays are the original plays. But we're going to be kicking it off here. Pretty soon the players are just getting ready and that sort of thing, so make sure if you're having fun, get involved in the chat. Of course, get involved in the ANZ chat. If you're logged into the old Heroes of the Storm and get yarning with all the lads that are playing the games today, or you can just yarn to them in the chat, in the old Twitch chat there.
Whilst we wait for this game to set on up, let's just chuck it back to Vandy and Disconcur, see what their thoughts are for the analysis before this game begins.
Thanks, guys. There's not much else that I can sort of add. Personally, for me, Disco probably has something to jump in that you guys didn't cover. I think you rounded off all of it well. The Void Prism, good pick. They can potentially sort of section off the tanks. But I think they're just going to be really weary now. Chicken Salt have seen, I guess, the Greymane and the Johanna, and there's going to be a bit of respect there, and perhaps we'll be seeing them react a little bit better to the team fights. And that's why it's so interesting having best of threes, because the teams learn how each other play, and then they react better and better, and we get higher quality matches time after time. Disco, do you have anything else?
Just going over there, draft. I mean, the Zero Tool, I think, it's a good pick. It's very punishing against the Li Ming, and a lot of the damage coming out from Plantronics is going to be against that Li Ming, especially because they saw in the just how well she kind of can you left alone. Li Ming does a lot of damage. Knowing that there's a Zero Tool around, I mean, that's going to be really scary for that Li Ming player now. Like, she's got to be on the ball and just wary of her positioning. And also looking at the Void Prism from Zero Tool, I think it's a really good pick, actually. If Greymane does sort of go to dive in, or Johanna and Tyrael try to go in, there's an option. There's something. The trouble is when they do get in, your Void Prism does nothing. So they're going to have to be, Zero Tool's going to have to be really good on placement of that and knowing when something's about to happen. So I think for Chicken Salt, I think it's the Zero Tool. The entire game comes down to how well that Zero Tool player plays.
Awkward if he takes Shadow Assault. We'll all look silly.
Shadow what?
Passing it back to you guys, because it looks like the game's starting.
It is. It's round one. Actually, it's the quarterfinals, as they had a bye in the first one. So it's the quarterfinals here. Towers of Doom. It's game 3 off the best of 3 upper bracket series. And on the left-hand side, it's one apiece right now, as you'd expect. It is Plantronics NV. Haircut playing Greymane. As we jump on into the lobby, we've got Hux on Brightwing there, and Nagon on Johanna, Iwai on Li Ming, and Moops on Tyrael.
And in the red corner, the right-hand side, we have Chicken Salt once more, the third game of this series here. Awesomeness playing ETC, Silent on Falstad, Vid playing Karazine, Bullcrow on Zool, and Denza playing Zero Tool. So a couple of them changing up a couple of roles there, actually. Quite interesting there. Going to have to wait and see how they change with these roles and see just who the best one is in their role. But you know what? They're going to start off the game pretty standard stuff. Let's have a look at the talents real quick, Skimmy.
We'll just wait to see what teams decide to go for here. We've got Backlash chosen by Zool, so just looking to do extra damage when he pops that shield. We've also got Even in Death, meaning those spells can still be used when you're dead.
Yeah, we actually see a lot more people picking that up, because then when they have the combat material, they can use the Sword of Illusion to actually get in with that damage and teleport that. Just get, maximize that just a tiny bit more.
And once again, if your comp's really reliant on these kills resets, well, if you're going to die, might as well make sure that you actually get that reset in terms of the team. So let's have a look here. We were going to go for the standard opening here. Falster goes to the bot side, Zool to the top, and no kills were established in their mid lane, but they're going to bounce on off and look to try and start establishing the picks.
Yeah, it's really a cheeky comment. I'm talking about, it's not a Blizzard Cup. It has a wee cat on it though, so if you like cats, that's my thing. But going to be getting into that there. Oops, taking a bit of damage in mid lane, and Benza just doing a good job of rotating, but he's going to get caught out here, actually using that blink to get out of harm's way. Would there to help him out as well, but that was a scary situation for that Zero Tool.
Look at that awesomeness, dropped extremely low, so it looked like they went for a tower dive on that Brightwing there, but didn't actually eventuate in a kill. Still very, very topped up, so a bit of aggression so early on into this game, and really expecting to see a lot of panic take place when this first altar phase spawns, as they decide to split on out, because there is global pressure on both sides, so how do they coordinate this one?
Yeah, definitely. I need to think about this one very much so. Hux is at the top, and things are just, he's going to be looking for those opportunities all day, Skimmy. But, with these players, they're going to be a lot more conditioned to the shimmer of the old Zero Tool. They've played since the beta and the alpha and that sort of thing. So, more or less so than me. And I'm playing against Zero Tool. He gets about 50 kills. He ends up carrying the team and gets all those stacks. But look at this, things are actually getting stunned again, blinks out, and pretty much a repeat of what happens last time, except there's a cow there now to help him out as well. But nothing coming out of that, they didn't get the pick, but still very scary stuff for that Zero Tool.
Falstad has already flown up to that top-hand side, so looking to try and establish that as a control point. It seems to be that Tyrael's going to pick up that bottom mid one for free. No contention there as Nagon jumps into the mix. He goes for the Big Condemn trying to lock up 3 members. Polymorph did come across 2, but no kills at this stage in the game. Starving 4-4. Shots fired left and right. And just that top left one available.
Oh, wow, yeah, Iway actually getting a bit stunlocked there. Awesomeness taking a lot of damage in that retribution there from the pickup. And Benza coming out of his cloak now really needs to back off as he is getting targeted by Hiccup, switching to the range form. Oh, my lord, going for the throat there indeed. And big plays there by Hiccup, actually managing to get 2 or 3 picks there in the space of that team fight. So very, very nice switching of the stances there, using that range and that so nicely.
So the 2 shrines and 2 altars really in favour of Plantronics NV so early on into this game, and that allows them to hit level lead and forces them actually into this aggressive nature to go for the bombers in the bot hand right side, aggressive invade if you will, and look to try and bring down these structures to allow those extra shots to be fired.
Yeah, definitely. So once, these easy camps are not the best thing in the world, especially because the structures do regenerate if you recapture them. But they can really force players to come down and react from it. If you get them to rig shots, if they walk past the threshold, they can actually get the rig shot from the floor as well. So sometimes see teams really trying to risk that advantage to hot lanes and just try and get a couple of free shots here and there. But at the moment, it's looking 36-32 in favour of Plantronics MV. Bit of XP advantage for Plantronics MV as well as we come up to level 7 talent here. And Hux is just, forced to respond to the ever-growing pressure at top of the prospect.
Yeah, 2 global monsters are going to sit fight in top lane for as long as they need to, and really Hux has the advantage in that one, given he has the teleport nature, but it seems to be a bit of a fight's going to break out here. The bombers are going to go straight towards that tower. They're trying to be locked up there for as long as possible and take out one, but the other one does the damage. There's the towers, there's the actual wall itself, and actually looking to still go on for this engagement. Warcrow extremely low, but he doesn't drop, and does force out a couple of wells. Couple of tap wells.
Yeah. I mean, I think something that needs to be said as well is just how good Joanna has seemed to be being in these matchups. It's just the condemns really showing just how annoying they can be. We saw on the move as well. It really messes up with the Dwarven toss last game. And it just ruins your general movements and it can make it really difficult. But look at this, and Nagon actually getting ganked here. Body blocks coming out from the zero tool, no blink available for him, but unstoppable was. Oh, wow. Things are going pretty deep there for that. Hiccup. Oh my lord, yes, it does get taken out.
Yeah, Ben's taking a bit of his own medicine, saying, well, you played Lemming like this game once, so I'm going to do it to you now. So, in the drop for 10 seconds, they went extremely aggressive to try and get that kill from that Vorpal Blade, but it's just a little bit too much. Iron Skin was held very patiently by an Aegon. Yeah. Allowed him to bait out that damage there. But look, still looking for more damage here. Silence coming across. A lot of damage is going through. And there does go Greymane too from the next of things. So it's a 1-for-1 trade at this stage. Nothing more at this stage, though.
I didn't actually see him get melted. It was very, very fast death for old the Greymane there. But Awesomeness, looking to be quite an annoyance. He's running down with the enemy team of Plantronics MV as Falstad has already fallen down so quickly. And that's the advantage of Falstad over Brightwing, is that he can fly to a lane by himself when no one's actually there, whereas Brightwing actually needs an ally in that lane to teleport too. So very, very nice global pressure there by the Falstad, managing to pick up some more shots equally in the game out.
I'm liking how Plantronics are playing right now. They're realizing that, we don't need to siege on our own. We can really abuse the objective itself. They went for the invade to try and see if they were doing the bombers too. Chicken Salt now starting it. But they have bombers pushing in a bot lane uncontested right now. So if they stick around here for a little bit of time, they have a decision to make, Chicken Salt. Do we carry on with this one or do we clear? Because those are going to go straight towards that full and start beginning inevitable siege.
Yeah, definitely. And you just want to, deal with them now so that they have to actually force aggression onto the towers without the bombers. So, and Aegon's running past towards the bot lane as well. And Karasing's still rattling away on the east camp. It's taking quite some time.
And it seems to be that Awesomeness is actually going to drop in this one. He was sitting around for so very long. Bulkar and Fens were chilling in the top lane, looking to try and find a pick on that Hux, but he's now found Hux. There goes the Bone Prison. There goes the kill as well, as they're looking to try and go straight on towards him. There's no way he can get out of that. The Emerald went just so late, and now Hiccup has found himself in a bad situation too. He drops for free, so it's a trade in both top lane for bot lane. Mercenaries finding value as fights break out.
Yeah, and it actually looks like Falstad wanting to be a bit aggressive there, but they did just lose their tower. And of course, that is going to come in Plantronics' position now, as they are going to have one advantage. So that means they're going to have one more shot fired per shrine.
But not without Plantronics NVs having to say something about that instantly. The sanctification comes down. No mosh pit can be used. You Bone Prism. Wow, actually, I should say Zulk still has not picked up an ultimate. The Gust comes out too. They're saying you cannot find any more kills from that. But they've done the damage already. They've got the bombers, and that fort's being taken away. So potentially they could be escorted into the core.
Yep, Emerald Wind and the old disbursement of Li Ming is still available though for the next fight. We might have to see how this fight breaks out. Awesomeness, always taking so much damage before the fight breaks out and being the solo tank, forcing out that healing ward now. So she's going to try and heal up desperately and try and get this control back. But you know what, it looks like the ult has already been lost. Felstad is forced to keep staying towards the bottom lane and respond to these bombermen that can actually run straight through that threshold like I was talking about.
And that's what I was saying as well, you know, if they didn't actually have Falstad down there, those would have been three shots, which they could have quite well, dealt with. So finding themselves in a situation where they can't force the fights if they like because they are in a numbers disadvantage right now.
And this is a really tricky situation that you can be in as well, Skimmy. The enemy team just sitting on a structure and you want to take it back, but you simply can't. So yeah, very, very scary stuff there. But IY doing so well at just maintaining that aggression on the Li Ming. You know, he's just keep popping out these spells. Looks like he's actually gone for more of a magic offer as well. Really big.
And I was just going to say that Plantronics are doing a great job at defending this one because they had Brightwing the entire time pushing for free, and Falster had not responded to this one. But enough about that because Moop seems to be going for the engagement. There goes the mosh, but actually no, it doesn't. It actually gets interrupted as the certification came down as well to prevent anything from taking place. But ETC finding himself as a squishy tank, dropped for free. And once again, Falster having to respond to what Brightwing can do. This allows Brightwing just to rotate somewhere else.
I think it's a trouble you can find yourself in when you're playing a solo tank. You can just find yourself taking a lot too much damage, but wow, nice VP towards the bottom. They're really stopping any aggression. Looks like they're trying to get really aggressive there, as a matter of fact. And yeah, they're just playing this so aggressive. Plantronics MV really showing that they're not to be toyed with here right now. Poison Nova being popped.
Shots were done.
The shots were done. So shots were fired towards the side of Chicken Salt there.
And that's the reason they're playing so aggressively. They're starving is because they want to score those shots. Why not? If they're there, you can do stuff with it. And Falster's now responded on down. It does actually force out a big teleport, as well as Huck's actually using the Emerald Wind to prevent any further aggression there. So a baited ultimate down for 55 seconds, but it allows this fort to definitely go down before the next spawn.
Actually saw a cheeky B-step in there as well as he was trying to get away with his life, and he saw, you know what, Emerald Wind will need B-step and Emerald Wind, best of both worlds. But an Aegon now. They're going to look to fight, but with their ult down on the Brightwing, it's going to be quite difficult. Nice mosh pit to kick things off, but already interrupted by Polymorph.
And that's it, and ETC can do nothing about that. The Gustus comes out a little bit too late. Your cow, your dead, is gone. Tank is not there to protect you any further, and the Blessed Shield comes across as well. Beautiful palm, actually, to complement what Zeratul was trying to do there. He's trying to snipe somebody up, but the stun prevented all that. Great palm. He's saving the day here as Hiccup's still looking to try and find him. The cocktail does not explode. He doesn't scan him out, and this is going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, just like you said as well, Skinny, they're so aware of the Zeratul this game. The positioning being quite good, I think, just to deal with that. And very nice on try to keep them alive. But a fight breaking out yet again. They're just really looking to maintain the pressure, I think, that they have on Chicken Salt at the moment. You know, they managed to get back into the game now. And Chicken Salt, you know, they're trying to just get their footing back after getting that
And I feel a lot of this is really snowballing in the fact that they've been keeping up this mercenary pressure. I don't feel that Chicken Salt have actually got one single bomber camp this game. And they're going to go for an invade once again. They see that 4 members are there. They've got ETC sliding in from the side. Big Brightwing coming in for the teleport, giving a shield to move. Looking to try and tank up as long as possible. Gwyd is actually doing still work on this camp. And it might be starving the very first camp of the game for them.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously not the fastest one to pick up this camp, but they're just looking for these fights. We do see ETC being polymorphed again. One pick going onto the side of Tyrael. Awesomeness also getting taken out pretty low as well. Nice palm coming out onto Ballcrow as he does get dropped in that fight, but Poison Nova already being popped out. Desna being forced out of this one as well. Polymorph out onto Ballcrow as he does try and retreat out. Nice dust being used to save 3 members.
Look at them all starving. Yeah, all so low, all sub 200 HP. You can see Li Ming was suffering like, please, get a kill. Yeah. And ETC, well, he did get dropped. They split off to get him as the rest of the team was still stuck in the top hand side. The actual farm itself, they waited so long. Zul was down to 14 health. I think just one auto attack. Yeah. Potentially by mistake.
Very nice patience there.
You know, triggered it.
Yeah, so very nice by Chicken Salt there. Actually, quite a good coaching, I must say myself. I'm not a good. So, yeah, I can at least see one being played well. So, you know, Desna as well playing very good. As he's, with these former players, just going so aggressive, but just trusting the healer every single time. And look at this play here, Skimmy.
Well, I was just going to say, Starving, 16 shots is what is left in the bank for them. 4, 8, 12. Well, if you do the math, if you get a boss as well, that's GG.
Yeah, well, math never really my strong point, Skimmy, is, you know how that goes. But fantastic. They are 16 shots away. They will be able to win it very, very shortly. So they're just really trying to, get their map control back, get their altar back that they had. And now things are more even. But 29-16 leaves them in a very scary situation. Not a whole lot of room for error as one is already being picked up.
Fouls that actually went for the capture of that ult in the top right. Instantly flew in to try and see what Brighton was up to, but the damage had already been done. The capture had happened. They're down to 8 now starting. That's not without finding a skirmish and a kill on the bot lane. Zor is gone, down to 30. And it's looking very, very good for Plantronics right now.
Yeah, definitely. All they need is 8 shots, a couple more bombs, and maybe even a boss could win in the game there, Skimmy. So they're really trying to focus this pressure on to this bottom side where Chicken Salt have taken this back twice, I believe.
They have, and it seems to be this is all game.
Yeah,
they haven't had any attention in the mid, none in the top. They've just been focusing on this bot lane and really abusing these merc camps.
Yeah, definitely. So they're just playing it very, very well at the moment. I feel like they're just trying to snowball ever so slowly, though. Just that little lead, bit by boring bit, and they are going to be able to snowball this, I believe. 8 shots, that just leaves you in a situation where you've got a whole lot of room for error. Awesomeness taking the front line once more, but Moop's not having any of that. Look at that body blocking. So nice for him.
Absolutely. Moop's in the front of 4 people. He does have certification available if he needs to. There goes the VP, but hits nothing. The Gust actually blows them into the VP, so style points for that one.
Yeah.
As IY tries to find something else there with the wave of force, but they've got 3 bombers that can be escorted, and that's 3 shots for 3. Lots of frees here because they're making more kills coming across. Wow. That's a 3rd member dead. There's the certification, make that 4. And well, Silent, he does get away quite silently, but the core is down to 5 now.
Yeah, I mean, all they really need now is a boss and one more solid push and a sweet ass. So I believe if they get a boss now, it'll be 5 shots though. Is it always 4 shots?
It's always 4.
Yeah, so you still need 1 more there. But very interesting stuff. I feel like Chicken Salt, they're just not really on their game for this one. And reacting to the bot the whole game.
That looks to me GG starting. If Moops dies here, maybe a different story, but Moops is literally looking to escort that one in, shooting it up. He's actually doing so much damage. It's quite ridiculous when you think about it. He nearly went down to 70, but is this going to be enough?
Yeah, that's GG. I just saw the shot being fired. 4 coming across now. Yeah. The GG has been called. And wow, Chicken Salt losing the second game there, but Plantronics NV playing that so nicely there, Skimmy. And yeah, just very well played.
And I say it's a map that we don't see much played. Just for the fact that it can be cheesy, it can be kind of annoying, frustrating compared to your more traditional maps.
It's very niche.
Very niche, and you saw that Plantronics had a game plan going into that one, abused that bot lane, abused the mercs, and that really was the catalyst for their success.
Yeah, I think they were much more prepared for that one, I must say there, Skimmy. But, not to take it away from Chicken Salt, who've had a fantastic first game and quite a convincing first game as well, I might add.
Absolutely.
And you just really got to pay it to Plantronics here in this sort of format as well. It actually enables you to come back, and so I'm sure they're real stoked about that one. But yep, GG to Plantronics NV. We'll toss it back over to Disconcur and Vandy here, and they can have a couple of breakdowns before we sort out the next games for you.
Thanks again, guys. That was awesome. Just amazing to sort of see. It was, I guess, as you said, the catalyst for it was just the control that Plantronics NV had over the map, and just seeing Hiccup once again on Greymane, IY. He went a very interesting build, full magic missiles sort of focused and auto attack sort of Li Ming, and played it fantastically. They were hitting all the right people. They were reacting very well to ETC. He couldn't get a good mosh off. That's, I guess, a little bit of the gamble you take when you take ETC. It's just, if you can get the moshes off, it's amazing what you can do. But if you can't, he just sort of is a bit of dead weight. And as you said, moves on Tyrael, just the fact that he almost dropped Falstad Silent back down there was insane to watch. It's why Tyrael is becoming so well picked up, I guess. He can zone so effectively. And essentially he just excels really well. And yeah, just concur. Any other thoughts you can add to this game?
We just really saw in that game there that Plantronics NV just controlled the map. And an interesting thing there is that Chicken Salt actually chose to play on that map. They chose going into that, and you just couldn't. You just sort of felt that they didn't. They just kept losing out on those pumpkin bomb camps. They didn't rotate down to them correctly. When the structures were taken, they didn't really capitalize on it, and they split so much. You saw later on they had like 3 people trying to do something down in the bottom lane against a team of 4. You had Brightwing up top, just grabbing the altars as they spawned. But then they spread themselves too thin. They just didn't respond properly. They didn't have a game plan. It felt really. sort of going into it. So it's unfortunate in that regards. I mean, their numbers do look nice. Like, the heroes were doing damage where they kind of needed to be. However, outside of that, was it really effective? That's the question. That Zeratul pick, it just didn't seem to pay off for him.
Yeah, I mean...
No, he couldn't really get good prisms off. Sorry.
No.
No, I'm finished. I just said he couldn't really get very much... I mean, he was stemming the sort of aggression, but apart from that, he couldn't really get in there and assassinate Li Ming, and that's what he needed to do for them to be able to... Or even Hiccup on Greymane. Just one of those high-priority assassins. He just couldn't get in there.
Just need to kill someone. It's their Zeratul. That's just what he needed to do. They're just a very low kill game for Chicken Salt, unfortunately.